everyone and welcome to CVLOG. So today I'm going to be giving my top 5 tips for managing yourself as an independent artist. So I've been an independent artist for a few years now, officially since maybe December 2018, January 2019, and obviously the year of COVID where nothing was open and things like that. So I actually haven't been an independent artist for very long, but I like to think that I've gained a lot of experience in the few years that I have been doing it, and so I wanted to give these tips today to help you as an independent artist. So kicking off with number 1 as one of my tips today is manage your time well. So when you're managing yourself, there's a lot to think about, there's a lot to do. You don't have a record label that are chasing you down, getting you to, hit your deadlines, write your songs. You don't have a PR company promoting you. You don't have, events managers or booking agents sorting out your gigs for you. It's your job to do that. And so managing your time well is vital to being an independent musician. And so managing your time well is just one of the key things that you just have to try your very best to get right. So one of my tips to do this is to have a timetable, to plan your week, plan your month, even plan your year, to make sure that you have a good mixture of things as well. So I remember one of the examples that I've given on my other C vlogs for different advice is, so you can put all your energy into getting gigs, which is fantastic. But then you can lack on your songwriting, and then you haven't got any material, you haven't got any new material to show people. And so managing your time well means not just focusing on one thing either. You need to try and, make sure that you focus on different things and make sure that they're getting even amounts of attention. So this year, for example, I've done a few days of songwriting. I've put songwriting as a day in my week. So one day a week I've got to be songwriting, and then the other 3 or 4 I'm gigging. And that's the way that my timetable has worked out, and it's a lot better now. Now I have days where I can do admin days where I do all the things that I need to do. I have a social media day where I post all my social media. It sounds very overwhelming and complicated, and sometimes it really is, but managing your time well is a step to making sure that you manage yourself well. So number 1, manage your time well. Number 2, avoid distractions and comparison. So it is so easy in the age of social media to get distracted. I remember once I was meant to be doing a cover for TikTok and I just scrolled through it for 4 hours. I did nothing. And I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to that. And I also ended up going on social media and then comparing and being like, I want to do a video like that. Oh, why can't I have a video like that? Why can't I have like 1 million followers? That would be so cool. And then people could see my music and see how hard I'm working on these songs. You get into a bit of a rut when you're always on social media. And what ends up happening is you're so focused on the distractions and comparing yourself that you actually do nothing for yourself. You don't get working on those new songs, you don't get recording those new songs, you don't get planning things because you just feel really bummed out and you just don't want to do anything. And so my advice would be, don't get distracted, don't compare yourself, just focus on yourself. And if you find it really difficult to be on social media and not compare yourself, I'd recommend getting a automatic poster. It's like a creative tool or creative hub. It basically posts your posts for you, so you don't even need to go on social media. You can literally just go, right, add this to Facebook, schedule it, done. Facebook, I'm not sure what that is. I'm so tongue-tied today when I'm talking, but I'm going to keep it in anyway because it's funny. So yeah, on Facebook and Instagram you can actually schedule your posts so that you don't even need to go on there. And comparing yourself isn't always a bad thing. I sometimes look at things and I get really inspired by them, and it actually inspires me to go away and create. But if you find that when you're looking at things you're just getting jealous and envious, I'd recommend taking a break. And it's very easy to do when you feel in a little bit of a rut. So don't worry, don't feel bad, don't feel like you're failing, because you're really not failing, you're absolutely fine. Everyone does it. Social media is one of those things. Everyone's lives looks perfect on there, even though half the time they're not behind the scenes. So remember that, don't compare, don't distract yourself. That is one of my top things to managing yourself, because if you get caught up in the distractions and trying to compete with everyone, then you're not going to manage your time well. And number 3, as always in my C vlogs, rest. Make sure that you rest to avoid burnout. Now, you might think, oh, that's not a very good tip for managing yourself, but it actually really is. A lot of people who want to do everything for themselves always, 9 times out of 10, will end up exhausted, tired, have no motivation to do the things that they want to do, have no motivation to do the things that they need to do. And then what ends up happening is you don't manage yourself well, you miss out on opportunities, you miss out on recording and writing new music. And so my best advice here would be to you is to rest. Just rest. Take breaks. You haven't always got to be gigging. This is something that I need to listen to as well. I'm literally listening to myself going, yep, I need to remember that. I remember in 2019 I was so booked up and I absolutely loved it. I had so many gigs. I was just gigging all the time, but then I never had any rest. And then in the end, my voice suffered. I suffered for it. I was so tired. My relationship with my friends and family was just like, because I was just always working. I never took any breaks. I never saw anyone. It was unless it was at gigs. And although that's fantastic that my friends and family would come along, it shouldn't be the only place that you see people is at your workplace, you know, and it does count as musicians as well. It's still your job. It's still something that you're doing. And so that would be my bit of advice, is to remember to rest. Don't get caught up with everything. Even have a day in your week that's set aside, rest day. I do this all the time, where I have a self-care day and then I don't do anything on it but what I want to do, and half the time that's gaming, rewatching Friends and doing that kind of thing. So just remember to do that. And tip number 4, hire professionals. So you might be thinking, aren't these tips to manage yourself? Why would I hire a professional? But hear me out a sec. So managing yourself means also that you have to delegate jobs. And what I mean by that is, so I am not a professional photographer. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not. I'm also not a PR. I don't know really anything about PR. I've learnt it online a little bit, but I don't know enough about it to actually help myself. And so what I'll do is I will contact a photographer to do my images for me, for my EP, and for my promo. And I will contact a PR company to promote my EP and to help me with it. And this is because doing this frees up my time elsewhere, where I can manage myself in better ways. So if you're good at something, focus on that thing and then get help in the areas that you need it. So for example as well, I'm not great at shooting music videos. I have no idea how to shoot one. I have no ideas for one. I'm very much just a whatever kind of person, you know, whatever works. And so I would hire a videographer to help me and maybe come up with some ideas. And that isn't a bad thing. So many musicians that are independent try and do everything themselves, and maybe also you're on a budget, but it's not impossible to do some of the things yourself and then get help in the areas that you need it. So for example, I book all of my own gigs, and so I save probably hundreds doing that, and so I put that money into recording music at a studio or hiring a photographer. And even getting in touch with people that are maybe new to making music videos and just want to make them for fun, and so I get involved, and then that's something on their portfolio and also something that I can have. It's just working out what you can do, and so that is my best bit of advice, would be to hire professionals. Don't completely turn your nose up at it, because there are some very talented people out there that would love to work with you, and yeah, it's just a good thing to do. And finally, my final tip for today, have a content plan. So I didn't used to have a content plan. I used to just do whatever. I remember I used to just post randomly. Sometimes I wouldn't post for months. And I realised that it's actually really not a good thing to do this. It affects the algorithm, it affects people coming back to your channels or coming back to your Spotify and things like that. You need to be releasing and posting regularly. And so what I ended up doing was I actually sorted out a content plan. I made one myself, I made one that works for me, and that is exactly what you need to do. So I'll give you an outline of mine. So my content plan is on one day a month, literally one day a month, I sit down and I record 2 covers, a CVTV, a CVLOG, and some shorts. So some random little covers that I've been working on, and some originals that I've been working on. I then edit them, I sort them out, and then I basically put them in a folder, and then all of my content that I need to post for the month is there. It's ready, it's done. I don't need to think about it. I just need to worry about posting it. And even then I can schedule it so that it gets posted for me as well. And this way I've got way more time to songwrite, I've got more time to sort out gigs, I've got more time just to rest, and also just to figure out what else I'm doing. And this is why content plans are so good. They're very, very helpful. I also schedule in my content plans like one day where I do like TikTok. I literally focus on TikTok, or I focus on YouTube. And this really does help as well. It just really does. I sit down and I look at what's popular, I look at what's trending, and you'd be surprised how many views like your videos get if you really pump time and energy into this. And so that is one thing that I'd recommend. Sit down, go over what's good for you. It might be that you don't have a day free in the week to do that, but maybe you have an evening where you could do one bit of content, or a morning where you could, you know, get out a load of covers and things like that and then schedule them. YouTube is very good for this. I love scheduling on YouTube. The video goes in and then it's just like, right, when do you want to post this? Do you want to post it now or later? And it's very, very good. So definitely use that to your advantage. And those are my top 5 tips today for managing yourself. If you found any of these helpful, please comment below and tell me which one you found most helpful. And also let me know what other things that you'd like to get given advice about. As I said, as an independent musician, I'm always looking for, you know, things that I can do to help my career and things like that, and then I basically convert them into CVLOGs. So if you want some new CVLOGs, like, you know, how to, you know, make a budget studio, or, you know, how to get gigs or anything like that, just let me know in the comments below and I'd love to give you guys some more advice. But until next month, please keep checking out my content and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And thank you guys so much. I also hope that you've enjoyed my Attack on Titan / Avengers crossover. I absolutely love this shirt. It's literally so cool. I don't know if you can see it properly, like here, look how cool it is. But yeah, if you appreciate the top as well, please comment below. But thank you guys so much, and I'll see you again next month. Bye.